Like I say, yes, radiation always affects you. Radiation even affects the astronauts. That's probably why that you can only go up in space so many times. Radiation is really, really bad. Way back when we built the first star, the first big fusion reactor in space, basically there were a lot of people that were saying we shouldn't build them because they give off a massive amount of radiation and a massive amount of particle matter and all kinds of stuff. Radiation is really just particles. Particles you can't see. Exactly. Like I say, everything is particles. All radiation is particles that are too minute for you to actually see or know that they are there, but they're there. If you were able to look at a radioactive item, basically it would look like a bunch of small particles spewing off, basically in all different directions. Basically, it would look really bright. I have seen such pictures of radiation and radioactive material as seen through basically being if you were able to see the particles, really small little particles, thousands and millions of them, and they go through your body and they do damage and affect you in certain ways. Like I said, I don't really understand the full depth of radiation, honestly. Like I said, I only have a bare working knowledge of it as I am right now, Brian. So I am just a person and just an ex Lord Creator and a very, very, very old one. Like I said, I defended people and life forms and everything else, and I know it well. It may seem interesting and strange defending life forms and defending them by killing them or whatever. I don't really know. It's complicated, and like I said, I was not the only one. There were other forces involved, like Richard Nixon, John McCain, and everyone else, and also Godney or Rodney, Dean Briley, and Rick Bush. Like I said, it would be dishonorable of me to say that I had no part in it. It would be dishonorable of me to just simply say that I'm just American citizen Brian Briley. I'm not. I'm Monsieur Starline. One of the reasons why, like I said, the reasons why people would be scared of it, well, beginning with Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but also there are also a lot of other even more terrifying things about me that would probably scare even more people as to why they shouldn't be messing with me. Like I say, it's all complicated and all very in depth and involved, and like you'd have to ask the Chinese or the Japanese or the Russians or the Germans to understand my existence fully. Like I said, I don't say that that was a good thing, and I don't claim to say that it was victory because, like I said, there was no victory. There were millions or trillions dead, and it was the end of a giant war or war. I'm not exactly sure. I used to know the full depth and full details of everything that happened on Earth and stuff like that. Like I said, anyway. Technically, it's possible that Adolf Hitler faced off against me too. I don't really know. I said, and it doesn't really matter anymore. Once I named America, once I invented the American government, and basically everything else, I became protector and leader of America. And so my existence changed. I had responsibility then. Responsibility to America and to my people of America. I had to defend them, I had to keep, and I wanted to end the war in Europe. Anyway, I'm not sure exactly what else would have happened if I hadn't done that. We will never know. We'll never know the outcome if I hadn't actually nuked Hiroshima or Nagasaki and forced their surrender. I don't really know. But I can tell you that it was my decision. Only I could ultimately do that. Make that call. So, like I say, it is part of my past. It is part of also what made, and like I said, the fact that I did not consider it national security or top secret, and that I did ask for and pay for lots of numerous photographs of the scene, and even aftermath reports and reports. And there were some other reports about some soldiers shooting some survivors that were okay, which I never ordered. I don't know about that. You'd have to ask the Japanese or Chinese. Like I said, The Japanese and Chinese do not lie. They would not lie about Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They do not make anything up. If they say it, it's probably true. I always found them to be the most honorable, most honest groups of people that I ever met. So, like I said, it's one of the many reasons why I bow my head in shame to them. Why I would bow to them. I'm one of the few people that I would bow to. So, anyway, it was a dishonorable action, possibly bombing a civilian population. I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, I do not hide anything. I do not cover up anything. I do not deny anything. So. And my version of America, my America is honorable and just simply doing what they had to do. As far as what some soldiers did or some Harvard people did or some people did that went to school or something like that, I don't know. Like I said, in the great span of time and space, we all make our decisions and our choices. I made mine. I know my people love me and considered me a bringer of peace and equality and thought me innocent and whatever. And I wanted to stay that way. I wanted to be that way forever. I never wanted to be anything but. But as a leader of a country, owner of a country, I said I had a responsibility. So I had to. What was I supposed to do? Just sit back and watch them roll over America? Destroy my great country? Rape my people? Kill my people? Although I said that it's most likely the Chinese probably wouldn't have raped my people. The Chinese, at least that I knew, were always honorable and honest and good people. And only were doing what they had to do too. I've never known a Japanese person or a Chinese person or any Asian to be dishonorable or acting in any way lesser than perfection, or at least the best way of acting. So, like I say, if they say something's true, something's true. So, anyway. I was living a semi-normal life as Brian for a little while before I told the world and told everyone the truth. Once they did surrender, the people, we did more of a whatever government, and they then became my people basically. From whatever point on, they became my people, and they would be my people. And they even seemed to love me and seemed to care about me. I said I would have had supplies and food and aid flown in almost immediately right after the bombing. And I believe I ordered all Japanese or all Chinese people, or at least a very large regiment, return to the island so they can rebuild their city. Most people would wonder why. Why am I letting an enemy live? Well, it was between me and somebody else. For whatever reason. You do not blame the soldier. You do not blame, just like you do not blame the tank or the gun. It's the leader's fault. It's my fault. My decisions are my fault, and their decisions are their fault, and their decisions. So, ultimately, it was between me and somebody else. Or something like that. So, anyway, for better or worse, I said, when you name a country, and a country takes your name, you become ultimately responsible for that country and that country's safety. That means all decisions go to you. And so they go up the command chain, up, 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 up. to the point where you are, and then you have to make that call. So, anyway, I don't know. Maybe no one else. Well, no one else had the authority that I had, so I had to do it. Like I said, I wanted the Japanese or the Chinese people. The Japanese people warned of the attack, and most people would say, "Why?" It's like, well, we will defend the bomber in there, and we will defend, like it's one bomb that kills thousands. It would not be a surprise attack. It should not have been a surprise attack. They should have had more than ample warning about its coming. I had more than enough aircraft to defend one bomber into a country. And I doubt they had all that significant of defenses. I had the capability of making sure that city bombed, would be bombed. Even if it took 3 bombers to do it. With the bombs of that scale, you don't really need that many bombers. So, and it was to force their surrender, which they did. So, anyway, like I say, many people will live in the shadow of my decisions and my actions, for better or worse. I said, but like I say as well, I did not take pleasure from it. I did not consider it national security or top secret. If somebody else hid the fact that it was me, then that was on them. Like I said, I would not. But it is the truth, I believe. At least to the best of my abilities. I know my people were trying to protect me. I know a lot of my generals and a lot of my other people didn't want me to be blamed for it. And honestly, I could have taken you through the decision process of why. Like I said, I guess in many ways it was only a matter of time. I was inventor and builder of cannons and tanks and everything else. It was only a matter of time before somebody decided to try and use them. Like I said, I always knew war, and I always knew that people were dying. I didn't want people to die. And I said, in my own way, it was my best guess to end the war quickly, so less people on both sides would die. Like I say, I never got to officially meet the people of Nagasaki and Hiroshima to say how sorry I was. Anyway, I wouldn't say it was an honorable thing to do either. There were parades. Actually, I told them not to have any parades afterwards. When we won the war, I ordered my people not to hold parades for victory of the war or whatever. I ordered my people not to celebrate because there was nothing to celebrate. Women and children had died. Whole families had been eliminated. There was nothing good about it. That's why I would get angry sometimes when I would hear someone say, "We won the war, yay!" It's like, shut the fuck up. Nobody won that war. And besides, like I say, you never win war anyway. Your people are dead. Their people are dead. Where's the winning? Anyway, I've fought a few wars in my life, and like I said, I've lost good people. I've lost people I really cared about. There's people that wander around me today, like I say, and some of them consider themselves honorable or whatever, or good people. It's like, no. I've had good people. I've lost good people. I've cared about good people. Like some Irishmen that wanted to stop a war and rationalized that losing 30 or 100 of them was better than losing thousands later on. So they went to stop an armed shipment or a ship full of weapons. If you don't have weapons to fight the war, there is no war. Or at least it makes it more sporting, bare hands. So they sacrifice for the greater good. I tell their stories because they're fact. Anyway, like I say, you should look up Lucifer Star. Who I am, what I am. I do not consider myself a conqueror or warlord. I do not consider myself a victor of wars either. I simply fought them. Simply, I'm the one who made all the decisions, whose responsibility ultimately lie on me. Like I said later on, I would write the Constitution and even do some work with the Geneva Convention, what is considered fair war. Probably because if they didn't do fair war, I would show them what war was. And I said, yes, I would hold the world hostage, or at least every life form on this world hostage, if it meant making them act right and treating each other with care and whatever. I had nuclear weapons first, and I had the biggest. I always had them. I always had bombers. I always had missiles. I just wasn't using them. Didn't think I had to. But if it meant that, then, well, it'd be a bad day for everyone. So, I said that's why I'm also the creator and inventor of the DEFCON system and everything about America. I was the one with the nukes. I was the one who invented the nukes. I had most of them. I was using them for construction. It's funny how a construction thing ends up being the reason why I became the one. Anyway, I don't really know. It doesn't really matter. I don't even really consider myself a hero for being that person. So anyway, like I say, I don't know if people knew who actually made the call to bomb to drop those bombs. That's also why I made all the protocols for all the different how to handle nuclear weapons and stuff like that. So, the great Lucifer Star. Anyway, like I have said before, radiation always damages people. Radiation always hurts people. It's always a bad thing. Even if you only get 5 or 10 minutes of exposure to it, depending on the level and the type, it can come back to haunt you 30 or 20 years later. That's why I was trying to ban it and eliminate it. I would not try and ban and eliminate all nuclear weapons. That would just be stupid or whatever. I just simply didn't want people to fight battles anymore, war. Like I said, in many ways, swords and guns were my responsibility. I had invented them. I had had them manufactured. I had them given out to my security forces. And so ending the war was also my responsibility, I guess you could say. Getting my life forms to act right. And to stop killing each other. Stop hurting each other. So, Anyway, everybody else will be like blah 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 blah, and all they have is words. I have events, I have pictures, I have actions, I have decisions. I have my existence. So, and you have a country which is named America. So I always tell one of my last remaining friends today that I named America that I am Lucifer Star. The one for which so many people feared. The one for which can only make those hard calls. Ultimate shot caller. Stupid. Like I said, the piece that came afterwards, well, the world said, oh fuck. You would be willing to do that. It's like, yes, well, if I have to, then I have to. As many people would say, what choice did I have? Is either that or lose thousands and millions of people to bullets. An extended battle. I could wage extended battle. You know, but I was trying to stop all war. And there are many other times when I would send the B-52s up into the air. When there would be skirmishes or something, and I would be like, send them up! And my B-52s would take off like swarms. And they would be flying over countries. Just don't do it, stop. If you fucking start this shit again, I'll be the one who ends it. My people. But we will not have war on this planet. So, anyway. Well, you may see the gain in killing people, or the gain in killing someone for stuff. There is no real gain. There's a small, fleeting moment in existence. And what I did was I created fair police officers and fair police, and basically the Constitution, fair jails, and everything else. Upon my death, if you wish to go back out into the streets and shoot each other, to your heart's content, oh well. Like I say, as long as I was alive, as long as I'm here, as long as I am Lucifer Star, in the name of America, well, you know. So I said, well, Jimmy Carter, John McCain, Richard Nixon, and JFK, and even Rodney Bradley does not have that ultimate decision. I do, and I did. So the call, I had to make it. And that's probably why I was sentenced for war crimes and death. Like I said, I admit it. I admit that I was not an epic man. That was not an epic day for me. Some people might have called me a hero. I told them, no, I'm no hero. Killing women, children, and whole cities is not a heroic action. I got very angry at them. You can call me a hero for naming America. You can call me a hero for inventing the Constitution and police officers and fair enforcement and all that other stuff. You can call me a hero for always providing aid, even to my enemy. You can call me a hero for doing anything except for bombing those two cities. Like I said, I wanted pictures, I wanted statements, I wanted to know the pain that I had caused. It's very easy to say, send a bomber and bomb two cities. But it was my responsibility. And something I wanted to do, something I had to do. To honor the dead and honor the people for which had fell victim to one of my weapons. That is why there are so many eyewitness statements. And like I said, many people probably intended to use it to frame me. intended to use it to call me a bad person, a horrible person. I said that's probably why they let it flow so easily. Why there are so many pictures and statements and everything else like that. And I said I'm pretty sure a hospital is set up right afterwards. To care for the sick and wounded. Once they surrendered, and that's it. I know many other conquerors or many other leaders and many other lords would just shoot the people, be done with it. But that is not my way. It was never my way. A war is fought between leaders and people, and the top people that make the decisions. It is not fought by the soldiers or the civilians. So, anyway, whatever. Doesn't really matter. I said you can spend the rest of your existence trying to figure out how and why and when and where. And all that. As the creator of humanity and life forms and all that other stuff, I suppose it was only my right to be able to do something like that. And many people, as creator, as builder of the stars and planets and everything else, maybe that's just something creators do sometimes when their life forms are acting bad. I don't know. I don't care. It didn't matter to me. I was simply defending my people. I know the Germans or some other group of people was created for me, and I said, well, I don't really need them. And they were saying, oh, well, then we'll just execute them. And I said, no, it's too late. They're here. So, or something like that. They were genetically modified or something like that. And anyway, whatever. Once they're living and alive, there's no sense in killing them. So, anyway, I don't really know. I don't really care. It doesn't matter anymore. It's 40 years or 80 years ago, and technically, many people would say, how could he do it? He wasn't even alive. I was, in a way. Anyway, whatever. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I know no one else would man up and actually take the blame for the bombing. Technically, JFK or someone was probably trying to use it as a springboard. I don't know. I don't care. Other people's political or financial or physical gains don't really matter to me. Protecting my nation, protecting my country does.